Does that make you reflect on your time as an NFL player too, to look around and think, wow, everyone's new here and I'm the eldest? Is it like a mental thing?
Yeah, no, not really too mental, but I think about it all the time. Like, dang, like I wake up and like, man, I'm really old, and I just remember being that young kid walking in, and you hear somebody say I'm on year 8 or 9, and you be like, damn, you're old. And now it's like looking in the mirror, I'm like, damn, you're old, So it's like looking back at my 20-year-old self telling me I'm old as hell in this league, and I'm just happy to be here, man, to make it this long, past many expectations, or past what people may have believed, or projected. I'm just happy to be here and embrace year 9.
The sack celebration, we've seen obviously a lot. We've seen a lot over the years, but where did that come from?
Man, you know what was crazy? I think like when I was a rookie, I was getting I ended up having 8 sacks. Like while I was going on a sack spree, one of the older guys was like, "Hey man, you need to come over to celebration." And something like people remember. And I seen like DeMarcus Ware, and some like Jared Allen. I hate to paint my age now. Like when I was young and I seen these guys play and they get their sacks and they do their celebration. I was like, man, I need to come up with something they remember me by. And then I just had like a full length mirror in my room. And I was practicing in front of the mirror, maybe some dances here and there, and then I finally came with the one, and then like I still critique mine from what it was. I used to beat on my chest, then I was out of breath quicker, so I was like, dang man, this makes me out of breath, so I need to refine it to something else, and that's when I came up with the one I have now. But it was like I tell some of these guys, like I even told RG and some of the guys, if you plan on getting a lot of sacks, come up with something that they remember you by, like have fun with it. So when they see a celebration, like I see so many guys, like one of the rookies who was in stretch line, and he did my celebration. I mean, I love your celebration. I didn't even know the kid knew who I was, but I was happy, that my celebration brought him joy, and he felt that it made him, really excited. And then the guys on the offense, they tell me when they see me do my celebration, it brings them a lot of energy. So I plan on getting a lot so I can bring them a lot of energy this year.
Early on, what have you seen from Lukas early on?
Man, he has a lot of ability. He has a lot of athleticism. Man, he has a lot of things that he can that can help his team. And I think he has his head in the right place. He comes to work hard every day. He has a high motor, and he's always willing to listen to get better.
What have you seen from Rashawn so far in working in rehab, trying to get back?
Man, Rashawn has always been a fighter. He always been a hard worker, man. I know he's always been trying to be the hardest worker anywhere. So I just know with him in rehab, he's trying to be the hardest worker in rehab and try to get back as fast as he can and be as healthy as he can, and he's trying to return better than he left.
Preston, you haven't had all your main defensive guys here so far this summer, but as a leader of that unit, what are you expecting? What are you looking for? What are you expecting from the defense this season?
Man, it's a lot of guys on this defense returning. We've got a lot of new up-and-coming talent in this defense. I expect us to come in at a high level. We all have chemistry with each other, and we all, work well with each other, and it's easy for us to correct each other and, talk to each other. I think, the chemistry is going to be at a high level this season coming up. And I just think with all the guys returning, man, it's going to be great to play with these guys once again. It's a lot of things we're going to improve on from last year, and it's a lot of things we're going to work on. It's a lot of things we're going to be better at. There's a lot of things that we're going to be great at, that we was good at.
A lot of hype coming into last season, maybe didn't quite meet that level defensively. Do you take anything from that as a unit going forward this season?
Man, we just got to be better. We can't be the team last year. We can't be who we were last year. We got to be a whole lot better than we was, and we got to play to our potential. We got to play to our expectations. And a lot of things last year we did good, but we wasn't consistent. And we know this year going into the season, we have to be consistent with everything we do week in and week out in each and every day.
So how do you get there?
Just practice. That's why they give us a certain amount of practice every week, and we get a chance to go out there and practice together, and we communicate. And then in the walkthroughs that they give us, we got to communicate. And if there's anything we don't like, we'll ask Joe B, can we run it again, or we'll talk through it and try to make sure that we don't have that problem, come game time.
Mixed with the slow start last year and then just kind of the uncertainty of the young offense, how do you start off fast? And then is it something that you guys are conscious of, we need to start off hot?
Yeah, we know we have to come out striking this year on defense, and we know we have to do our best to help the team out. We can't put ourselves in bad situations. We have to play together. We got to make sure we play sound football, because there's a lot of times, we didn't help ourselves out, by putting ourselves in bad situations and not playing our potential with things that we knew how to do better. And this year, I think we're going to fix those mistakes, and we're going to come out striking. The mentality around here has been great, even with the guys who have been missing, just being in communication with those guys. Everybody has an upbeat spirit, and everybody's ready to work, and we're ready to be better than we were last year.
We talked a lot about the even year odd thing heading into last year. You obviously put that to bed.
Yeah.
How did you do it? Was it a focus? What did it take for you to get over that oddity?
I think I had to not focus on the even odd year thing so much just so I can come in and just break. It felt like it was a curse, and I felt like last year, in order to, I really had to hone in on my skills and not focus on it as much and just worry about doing my assignment and just being as best I can each play. So when I got the opportunity, I made sure I maximized it, and I went out there and made the plays and got the sacks that that got me over that hump and broke the curse.
The odd year thing's been good for you, though.
Yeah, the odd year has been great for me. It's been a lot of good numbers on the odd years, and I'm looking forward to the odd year 9.
JJ is supposed to have a much bigger role this year. What improvements have you seen from him coming into year 2?
Man, his knowledge of the game is a whole lot better, man. He knows what he's doing. Coming in as a rookie, a lot of those guys are nervous, including myself. I was nervous as a rookie to not make those mistakes and to make sure that, I find a role or find something to be good at. And I think this year he's been working hard in the off season. He's been training really hard, and he's been doing really well. But, just coming into that next year, he has to make a big jump into, finding a role and finding something to be great at. He got to find some moves that work for him out there on the field. He got to play with a lot more violence, and he just got to continue to be consistent and work hard like he's been doing.
Speaking of rookies, you got a couple of guys who are very young in that room. One guy who's never even played football before. Has any of those guys stood out to you?
Yeah, all of those guys have a great ability. KB, from San Diego State, Kenneth from Nigeria. He has a lot of athleticism for him to never play football. He's picking up on the game pretty fast. Lukas, of course, he has a lot of athleticism. He's to see a kid that big and with that low body fat and looking like him, looking like Hercules. For him to come out there, he just looks great out there. What's the other kid? Cox from Florida. Man, he has a lot of ability. He has a lot of quick twitch. He has a lot of ability out there in the pass rush game. I see him doing some good things in the future. And to be honest with you, I'm impressed with all of them. A lot of those guys, they all work hard. They got the right mindset. They come in to work hard every day, and they all have some impressive talent.
Preston, what's the best part about being the most experienced guy with a veteran?
The best part is that those guys come to you for a lot of advice because they feel like you're old in the game, and just asking those questions and me being able to answer those questions and without having to send them to the coach or just those guys feeling like they can come to me for the answers. That's a great question. I mean, that's a great feeling. Just know somebody's coming to you for the answers, to help improve their game. And it's a great feeling to know that those guys lean on me towards, getting great knowledge.
Jerry Montgomery said that run defense is a mindset. So in your guys' room, what does that mean and what are some of those responsibilities?
You got to play violent from start to finish, especially in the run game. Like, we preach in our room violent, get off and violent hands. And that has to roll over to the run game. So when you're getting off the ball, you have to get the ball violently, and then when you engage in the offensive alignment, you have to do it violently, and you have to get off blocks violently to make tackles and make sure that we make good tackles behind the line of scrimmage and we get knocked back, and that we make plays that can help the defense and put us in great situations like second and long or third and long.
Is that a learned skill, or is that something that you have? Do you guys have it more than others?
Yeah, man, being violent is a mindset, and I think, the thing about it is guys have to have that mindset. They want to be violent. When you line up at the line of scrimmage, you have to want to hit the person across from you, and you have to want to, dominate them. You got to have that will to want to dominate them. And I just think that's the mindset that we're still in our room. A lot of guys have that mindset already, and it's just about rolling it over to the field.